Welcome. Today we're diving into the architecture of Active Directory partitions and their replication scopes. Understanding how data is organized and replicated within Active Directory is crucial for managing large-scale IT environments. We'll break down the three main directory partitions, explore their unique roles, and see how replication works across the forest and domains. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of how Active Directory keeps your organization's data consistent and accessible. Let's start by looking at why partitioning is essential in the first place and how it supports scalability and security. In Active Directory, a directory partition, also known as a nomming context, is a logical segment of the directory database. Each partition serves a specific purpose and has its own replication boundaries. This logical separation allows for efficient management and replication of data, ensuring that only relevant information is shared with the appropriate domain controllers. By dividing data into partitions, Active Directory can scale to support organizations of any size while maintaining performance and security. Active Directory organizes its data into three primary partitions: the schema partition, the configuration partition, and the domain partition. Each of these plays a distinct role in the directory service. The schema partition defines the structure, the configuration partition manages the layout, and the domain partition holds the actual objects like users and computers. Understanding these partitions is key to grasping how Active Directory functions at both the forest and domain levels. Let's start with the schema partition. Think of this as the blueprint for your entire Active Directory forest. It contains definitions for every object class such as users, computers, and groups, as well as the attributes those objects can have. For example, the schema defines that a user object can have attributes like phone number, email, and department. Any changes to the schema affect the entire forest, making this partition critical for consistency and interoperability across domains. Next, the configuration partition stores information about the physical and logical structure of the forest. This includes data on sites, subnets, site links, and service-related objects. The Knowledge Consistency Checker (KCC) relies on this partition to build and maintain the replication topology, ensuring that data flows efficiently between domain controllers. Without the configuration partition, Active Directory wouldn't know how to route replication traffic or manage site-specific settings. The domain partition is where the day-to-day action happens. This partition contains all the user accounts, groups, and computer objects that belong to a specific domain. Each domain in the forest has its own domain partition, which means changes in one domain's objects don't automatically affect others. This separation supports autonomy and security, allowing each domain to manage its own resources independently. Replication scope refers to how and where data from each partition is copied across the network. In Active Directory, not all data is replicated everywhere. Instead, the replication scope is determined by the type of partition. This design optimizes network traffic and ensures that only necessary data is shared with the right domain controllers, maintaining both efficiency and security. The schema partition is replicated to every domain controller in the entire forest. This ensures that all controllers share the same definitions for object classes and attributes, which is vital for consistency. Whenever a change is made to the schema, such as adding a new attribute, that change is automatically propagated to every domain controller, no matter which domain it belongs to. Like the schema partition, the configuration partition is also replicated to every domain controller in the forest. This means that all controllers have the same view of the forest's physical and logical structure. Any changes to sites, subnets, or replication links are quickly shared across the entire forest, ensuring that replication remains efficient and up-to-date. The domain partition is different. Its data is only replicated to domain controllers within the same domain. This means that user accounts, groups, and computers in one domain are not automatically shared with other domains. This approach reduces unnecessary replication traffic and helps maintain security boundaries between domains, allowing each domain to operate independently. Let's visualize how these partitions replicate across the forest. Imagine a network of domain controllers, some in the same domain and others in different domains. The schema and configuration partitions are shared everywhere, while the domain partition data stays within its own domain. This structure is key to balancing consistency, performance, and security in large organizations. Partitioning in Active Directory isn't just about organization, it's about efficiency and security. By separating data into different partitions, AD ensures that only necessary information is replicated where it's needed. This reduces network load, speeds up replication, and helps enforce security policies by limiting data exposure to only relevant domain controllers. Imagine a global company with offices in New York and London. each as a separate domain. The schema and configuration data are shared between both locations, ensuring consistency. However, user accounts created in New York don't automatically appear in London thanks to the domain partitions replication scope. This setup supports both global coordination and local autonomy. To recap, Active Directory uses three main partitions: schema, configuration, and domain, each with its own replication scope. Schema and configuration replicate forest-wide while domain data stays within its domain. This architecture supports scalability, efficiency, and security, making Active Directory a powerful tool for managing complex IT environments. Understanding Active Directory's partition architecture and replication scope is fundamental for IT professionals. By knowing how data is organized and shared, you can better design, troubleshoot, and secure your directory services. Whether you're managing a single domain or a global forest, these concepts are the foundation of effective Active Directory administration.